So I've learned like as I've gotten older to just not give a fuck about certain things that happen in a relationship. Like I think it's bad for me now because I just don't give a fuck like all the way around. And sometimes it may come off like, oh, he doesn't care. No, I do care, but it's just like I'm not putting my energy into it because it's not progressing anything.
Right.
You know.
I'm completely agree with that.
Yeah, so I guess from each of you, how have you noticed your growth with dealing with somebody and they bullshit in a relationship?
I'll let you go first.
Yo, she felt that in her soul. She said.
So, like now, I mean, I beat myself up about it, you know, me not giving a fuck about certain things. Why? Because when I did give a fuck, you didn't give a fuck. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But now, you know, we come across some people who really give a fuck, but we still are stuck in our ways, you know, that we don't give a fuck. But what I'm trying to say is that, I think it's bad once it's like we're stuck in our ways. And if you want to see, you know, if you want to go further along with that person, you have to change it up a little bit. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because that person gonna start to realize, you know, start to feel some type of way, and they really care for you. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, I give you everything. I give you time, and I give you effort, and all this, but you still on this I don't give a fuck attitude. And I notice I be doing that, and I beat myself up about it. Like this current situation I'm in now, I'm trying to get, you know, trying to change my ways a little bit. But it's like one little thing triggers me. I'm back to my I don't give a fuck. You know what? I'm doing that. But yeah, I just think that I have, you know, I see some growth. You know, I'm changing it, you know, into a better way of thinking that I do give a fuck. You know.
And so one thing I want to touch on is like me, like, you know, I'm glad you brought it up because I've learned to like not give a lot of stuff energy. And I think one thing we all got to realize is that no one's perfect, right? And someone's going to have some flaws. And that's why a relationship is work. You know what I mean? You gotta figure out people's flaws, learn to either work on them or love them. You know what I mean? So it's like, for me, like what I've learned to do is if I know some things, like if I know someone is a certain way and that's just how they are, you know what I mean? There's either two things that's going to happen. Either I have to learn to work around it or say, look, I'm not going to deal with this at all. You get what I'm saying? So, you know what I mean? Things, you got to know what are things you can work on and what are some things that it just is what it is. Like, this is the type of person they are. They don't like this. You know what I mean? So I feel like it's all about learning your partner and then learning, you know what I mean, what they want and what they don't want. So there's some things where it's like, man, I really don't like this about a person, but I like a lot of other things. So what I'm gonna just do is learn to work around this one thing. Like I'm gonna have a conversation with them first, and then I'm gonna find out like, okay, this is just who they are as a person. They do these kind of things. Then I'm like, okay, you know what? I'm not gonna argue about this person, this one subject over and over and over again. You know what I mean? I'm either gonna, like I said, learn to live with it, or just be like, you know what, this isn't working.
But you know what though? So far I've learned that like coming from the past, I say since the Muse days.
Okay.
You remember the Muse?
Oh, the Muse just be popping. Okay.
It's back in the day,
huh? Yeah. So back in the Muse days, I've learned from then till now that I need to give myself time to unlearn somebody. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, I know exactly.
Because
I want you to explain it, because somebody said it to me one time. I was like, what do you mean by that?
Oh, he tried to tell you something.
All right. So, like, I'm a serial monogamist. So, like, I will jump from one relationship to another. Like, and it won't be, like, immediately.
Serial, like, hey, bitch, I'm back at you. Got you, bitch.
Got you, bitch. No. But, no, I'm frequently always in a relationship. And these guys can tell you. They be like, oh, this nigga always got a girl. Somewhere, you know. Yeah, but I've learned to have time for me so I can unlearn being with that particular person.
Okay.
You know, like for instance, the last relationship I was in, you know, I had to unlearn to give all my time and energy to one person all the time when they demanded it. You get what I'm saying? So it was like she she would demand time and energy from me, and I would, be like, all right, well, fuck it. I don't want no argument, so I'm gonna go ahead and do it. But I had to unlearn that trait moving forward because, if I start dealing with somebody else, it's gonna be like, nigga, why are you always paying attention to me? Like, I don't like that. They may not like that. I don't like that shit, nigga. Don't always pay attention to me, nigga. Be busy sometimes.
Nope.
Like,
it's kind of like going into a relationship with a clear standpoint.
Look at me.
Yeah. So basically, if someone said that to you, they basically telling you, don't treat me like your last dudes.
Pretty much.
That's pretty much what they saying.
Much.